supposed to tell people about my Tillamook County Smoker Hunter Smoked Sausage meat stick.
Well, that'll be the first thing on the VOD.
Oh.
Because that
The words
was...
I just said?
Yeah, that was... It was right after I clicked start streaming that you asked that question.
Perfect.
So...
No, it's my meat stick. Go away.
Cloud seemed confused by when I said, but we're going to start screaming while we wait for him.
I don't think he ever...
I know, he's never
there.
He's never here, like at the beginning of the streams when I say start screaming.
You know. I mean, I'm always confused. So there's that.
Fair enough. Okay. We're gonna play Ace Attorney now.
Yay.
See, Landon has a moderate amount of excitement for this game now because we're done with Prof Means.
Yes. I'm also eating a meat stick, and that helps out too.
Fair enough. You know, thinking about it, I don't know if I ever added an A to my name for April.
What do you need to be at, 16?
I think so. And I think I'm at 15. I can't change it right now because I'm in streamer mode.
Damn.
On Discord, but oh well. All right.
Discord.com?
Discord. Yeah. All right. If the VOD viewers are confused about Al's comments, I was playing Iggy's Wreckin' Balls before while we were waiting for Landon to join. It's bad. I didn't care for it. Then again, I probably wasn't playing it correctly. I did not know the controls. I might as well. All right. Beef stew. Beef
I don't know what
stick.
you're talking about. I literally don't know what you're talking about, Jack. I'm still waiting for the game to boot up.
That you are, Landon. That you are.
Oh. Well, there we go. The game's now live. Perfect. Beef stew. Oh. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
What happened to your eyeball? Excuse me, Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened to your eye?
I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Are you sure? I don't...
I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a...
Sty, I assume.
Probably. I'm gonna look it up anyway.
I don't think it's a stee. Oh, good. I got the notification for the email for the stream report for Iggy's Wreckin' Balls.
Good.
Beautiful. Goodbye.
It is.
And by I mean we.
We. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. Whatever that is.
We got a definition for that?
Definition. From the Mayo Clinic. A sty, they spell it also with an E, is a red, painful lump near the edge of your eyelid that may look like a boil or a pimple. Styes are often filled with pus. A sty usually forms on the outside of your eyelid, but sometimes can form on the inner part of your eyelid.
Gross. Let's pop it in front of the entire courtroom.
In most cases, a sty will begin to disappear on its own in a couple days. In the meantime, you may be able to relieve the pain or discomfort of the sty by applying a warm washcloth to your eyelid. There we go.
There we go.
The more you know. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age.
Touchy age. Apollo is a 24-year-old man.
Yep, a touchy age.
How old does the judge think Apollo is?
13. Very well. And the prosecution? The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Yeah. Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Yeah.
That was quick.
He just wanted to get it. He wanted to get it out of the way this time. The prosecution is now ready.
Well, it didn't take him long this time.
What's up with Black Quill? What's up with yourself, Apollo?
What's up with me? Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
I'll do it.
You will? What an unexpected surprise. I suppose I'll just go eat Taco Bell now.
This time, I can't leave it to anyone else.
I see. Something is off with the two of you today. You both seem different somehow. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would.
It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center.
Ah, like the Fairly Odd Parent character.
Yes. One could even say one of the Fairly Odd Parents.
One could say, but I'm not one. Ah, that famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology. Fuck, right?
Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, 2 explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was canceled.
My word, 2 bombs? How dreadful.
How about 9 bombs?
9 bombs?
And their names are the Blue Bombers.
The Blue Bummers?
The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with the murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in.
Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut?
Astronaut. Correct, your baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success.
Define interstellar trouble.
Some
Did he get pulled over by the space cops?
He got a space DUI.
Yeah.
Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend.
Oh, I remember now. He's become something of a international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything.
Come along on a captivating space odyssey that will take your breath away.
Mankind's hope for the future.
A movie
I've
and
got to make it back alive.
Live Alive.
Alive.
Hold on. Oh, wait, no,
Okay.
I don't want... Do not turn on autoplay. I wanted to, Oh, wait, I turned that the wrong way. No!
Other way.
No,
Other
no.
way.
We need...
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. He fucked that up. Wow.
Jesus Christ, I fucked it up! We'll see it again later, I'm sure.
All right, now pull up the history.
Yeah.
We've got a real space pioneer in court today.
But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights.
What's going on, Darkest Mustard?
Hi, Darkest Mustard. Returning to the subject at hand.
Ah, yes. The victim was one Mr. Clay Terran, a subordinate of the defendant.
Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor.
Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't the result of the bumming?
But how many times was he stabbed? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interpolator by the defendant. And so, he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see.
I'm
Clay.
doing pretty good, Darkest Mustard.
Clack.
I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point.
Does it, Judge?
Guilty. Case closed. Oh, wait. No, wait. There is one thing I'm curious about.
Just one thing?
Just one thing. That metal box next to the witness stand.
I love how the judge is willing to say, like, I think I've heard enough. This case seems pretty clear-cut. When, during the testimony, Blackquill said not only did Starbuck put a bomb on the rocket that he himself was going to be on, but also stabbed his own prodigy, his own underling, his own fucking subordinate. His kohai.
Yeah, pretty normal stuff. That's pretty clear cut. How much beef stew could fit in it exactly?
Quite a lot, actually. It's filled with moon rocks. Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin.
Have mercy on me. I just want more beef stew.
I jest. It's evidence. He really said JK.
JK. JK Law.
Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now.
It doesn't just fit in someone's pocket.
We shall get to the contents of the box in due time.
Phew. I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life. How old are you, Judge? Does he even have 50 years left?
Inner monologue, Athena! Inner monologue!
Nope, I'm the side character. There's no blue text for me.
Enough jabbering.
Bobby Fulbright. Is the name. In justice we trust. Detective Fulbright. Very well then, please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would. Is the judge 90 years old? I think he's supposed to be like 60.
He's grandpa age, but he's not old enough to be retired yet. So, like, he's like probably 62, 3, 4.
Something like that. Or if this takes place in present day America, he's 89. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building, take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created.
Thank you for specifying we, the police.
We, the police. The band. See the launch pad and the main building?
No. Point them out to me.
Right here and here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main... Oh, that's me as the judge.
Oh, yeah.
The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main building. Right? You got it. I'm changing his voice again.
It sounds mostly the same.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The incidents took place in Launchpad 1. Is there multiple launch pads? I'm sorry, there was a museum on the other side. So, where's Launchpad 2?
It's kind of like History of the World Part 1. There just isn't a Part 2. Or 99 Songs of Revolution Volume 1.
The incidents took place in Launchpad 1 and in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Space Center diagram added to courtroom record.
He really is always stanced up.
Yeah.
Got the legs spread out.
Spread eagle. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom, boom. Sploosh.
Sploosh.
Kaboom! One on the 2nd floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launchpad 1. Thankfully, only 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
Hi, Jack is Mustard. Hi, Al. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Kari.
I have a child now. A murder on top of a bombing? He wasn't paying attention earlier. He was too busy eating beef stew. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct? Yep. Thinking he sabotaged the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo.
I'm dead.
Oh my. Is that a knife in the victim's chest?
I know it's just the reflection from his suit, but the light makes it look like he has a priest collar underneath the spacesuit. he's dual wielding careers. He's a priest astronaut.
Priest astronaut. He's gonna go spread Christianity in space.
God.
Literally.
Oh, man. No wonder he had to be stopped.
Yeah, he had to be stabbed. Actually, give Solomon a prize.
Give him a medal.
Give him a medal and 2 years worth of fucking Taco Bell.
Taco Bell vouchers. Did you say your line?
Supposed to sleep. Yeah. I said that.
Okay. Say this line.
Yes. Your Honor, it's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams.
His dreams of space Christianity. We're we're building a church on the moon.
All because his friend got a DUI last time he was out. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit.
Damn. Awfully convenient.
Utility knife added to the court record. By the way, Detective Fulbright. Why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photo? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. You want the pinky? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. No, you don't. Okay. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Couldn't just, look at him.
It helps to have fingerprints, yeah.
Yes. It would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. Is that round thing next to the victim his beef stew canister?
Personally, I would have a much bigger canister than that, but
Yeah, the gray box next to the witness stand is closer to the size
About the size that I would be going for.
It's about half the size, honestly.
Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch
Yep.
pad.
Beef stew canister.
Are we still screaming?
Always.
Always.
Darkest Mustard says, my bestie's birthday is next week. One of the gifts I got for him was a plushie of Harry Potter's white fluffy owl.
Wow.
My birthday's not next week.
My birthday's not next week either.
Yeah, so it can't be us.
Yeah.
And I thought we were both Darkest Mustard's besties.
Yeah.
The fuck?
What day is this bestie's birthday?
Yeah.
I'm going to laugh if it's the 24th.
Probably not. That's also not next week. Oh my god, it is.
I was right.
Well, technically both of our birthdays are next week.
Yeah. I thought we were being facetious when we said that.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying for the folks at home.
Yeah.
We are actually.
Yeah.
Hey.
How did we
How did
know?
you-
It was literally a lucky guess because my birthday is on the 25th and Landon's is on the 26th. I thought it would be funny if the birthdays all lined up in a row.
Yeah. And it is.
And it is.
Very funny.
I was correct. Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. Did I say his previous line? Yeah, okay.
That was his previous line.
Yeah, that was the line. I was just making sure he didn't have a line before that. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples.
Beef stew samples, you say?
While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. Doubt.
Cloud's gonna get me a quote-unquote physical copy of Bravely Default HD Remastered for Nintendo Switch 2. I will literally throw it away, Cloud. Do it.
I was gonna say.
I will put it where it belongs. In a landfill. I see.
So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that it was in Launchpad 1 located?
That one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central point of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram report into the record. The bumming report. The trial's just started and we're already in a bind.
You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right?
I don't know. I just got here.
What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key.
Hey, Apollo, guess what we have to do?
Hey, Athena, what do we have to do?
Press every statement.
Fuck.
Have fun.
Of course. How powerful were the explosions?
Did you guys hear that Ubisoft accidentally patched out the nudity in Far Cry 4 and then had to patch it back in? Ubisoft.
What the fuck is Ubisoft doing?
Sillies. Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down.
And by that I mean, where's the nudity in Far Cry 4? I thought it was only like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, what the fuck? You just
I-
show up to a place, stand there, and then
Stand there for a few
credits.
minutes, and then you beat the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty great game. I thought like
it was-
it was really artistically well done, the way
Yeah.
that you just stand there for a few minutes and then the game ends. It's really a commentary on how video games is just doing nothing, and then you finish them and you've done
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. It's and it was really cool that you could spend $60 on that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do this line?
I did do that line.
Okay, cool.
I know, Linnea. But the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. Why were you there?
Why was he there? Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright?
I don't know. Ha ha ha! I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help.
That does not answer the question, though.
I'll go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe.
Why were you there when it happened? I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. But I guess I'll leave that one alone.
No, don't. Press.
Admirable decision, Justice Dono.
He can hear your blue text. Huh? What did he decide?
He really can hear his blue text. Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at the time?
The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators and the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. What happened to his face? Who punched him? He has like a blister on his eyelid, apparently.
So he says.
Yeah.
But
it's an easier transition to when the bombing happens in the court. I mean,
we find out what happens later.
we already know what happens now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did the evacuation go?
I don't know. I got bored. Oh, wait. I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. The basement shelter?
Why would you go to the basement shelter when you could just leave?
Well,
I mean, I guess you gotta wait until you know for sure that it's safe to leave, but still.
there's not a third bum.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Yeah, there could be 3 bums, not
Yeah,
just
but
2 bums.
What if there was a bum inside the basement?
What if there was a bum in the front door?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just homeless people. What? It was funny. Don't worry about it.
It was pretty funny.
It was. I'm telling my child who's trying to be frustrated.
She didn't like your joke.
I know. That's why I have to tell her it's funny. Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. What? Are you shitting?
Shitting and farting.
Don't do that. I'm gonna go deal with this.
Okay, have fun. Well, We're just gonna watch Athena sit and poke her screen a little bit, even though it's not doing anything. I wonder if they just, like, when this is happening, when we're streaming, if they just, like, swap babies. Just like, here, take this one.
If my children ask, I'm getting milk and or cigarettes from the convenience store.
When you are streaming in the other room.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But just tell them that.
Okay. I'll be sure to let them know.
Yeah. Because I'll never see them again now.
Okay. We've just been
Like,
watching Athena poke the screen.
An emergency shelter. Huh. Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. Where the basement would be.
Yeah.
The Space Center's pretty impressive to have its own shelter.
You know, for being the first... I don't know if I've said this already, but, like, for being the first M-rated game in the series, the dialogue and, like, story progression feels the most hand-holdy up to this point in the franchise.
Rated M doesn't mean that it's meant for people that are 17 or above. It means it's meant for people that are like 2 years old.
Yeah.
We just curse. Once.
It's not even that they curse. The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Hey, time to press statement number 2.
To be fair, the other like 2 testimonies are pretty quick.
Okay. Is this case just 1 day of trial?
No, we have investigation and then 2 parts of trial after this.
Okay. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives?
The next case is 1 day of trial after a day of investigation.
Case 5.
Oh, yeah, case 5.
Okay.
Oh, what are you talking about?
If the defendant
Immediately
really
got drunk.
in like the 2 minutes you walked away, he got bored and just got schwashed.
Fucking hammered.
If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that.
You didn't, Judge?
No.
Not even once?
No, I was thinking of how much beef stew they could hold on the rocket.
Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright. The motive.
Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia.
Astrophobia? What's that? What could that
What's that?
possibly mean?
A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. The person that has gone to space?
The person that has gone to space and not only that got stuck in space has a negative reaction when you mention space to him?
Weird.
Weird. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's probably because he got a DUI in space.
Yeah.
And, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. You know, when his face gets angry, I don't know if we've talked about it before, but when his face gets angry and he leans slightly forward and then there's like the shadow,
Yeah.
it looks like he has a penis on his face.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch out for that. That's absurd!
Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these.
What are they?
Crack that I was going to sprinkle on the body. Just kidding. These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions.
Wow. Crazy. For a man going into space that got stuck in space. Famously. This celebrity astronaut. Movie famous celebrity astronaut that got stuck in space, and it was so famous that they made a movie out of it, has anti-anxiety medication.
Once again, probably related to the DUI he got. He just didn't want to get, caught by the cops again. The space cops.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's been taking them in secret to quell his fears.
There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well.
Rumor has it.
That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence.
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he? Okay, here we go. Options, gameplay. Nah, it doesn't help.
Are you trying to read the other thing?
I'm trying to read the thing behind the fucking... Alright, whatever.
I thought there was an option to, remove the text.
I thought there was too.
Oh well.
No clue. Oh well.
Guess I can look it up.
Did I say the last line? No, not after the media had branded him Saul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What, so that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally. He constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Damn, you don't think there could be an easier way to do that? Like fake food poisoning or something? Just say, oh, I got diarrhea, I can't go into space. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, folks. Shit, man.
Ugh! That was
Sounds
Apollo
like he should,
imitating Saul Starbuck having diarrhea.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I'm sure you understand.
Nope, wrong voice.
Whoops, sorry. Now I'm sure you understood why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal. I almost said that right.
You were close.
Anyway, the third statement.
Yeah. Are you sure it was only the two of them?
Oh, under the Hat One Miracle, it says a moving and thrilling documentary in 3D.
In 3D!
It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course, it was only those two.
See, at first I thought it said 8D.
Oh.
Not 8th dimension, like HD times 8.
Oh, that's pretty high def.
Yeah. Forget 4K, we got 8K.
We got 16K, baby. I already said that one.
Okay. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Yeah, me.
The
Could've been
notion of
me.
a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few within with the clearance to do so.
A fingerprint recognition device? It sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes. There were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos.
Doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Hey, it's statement number 4.
Hold it!
So, while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct?
You got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing.
Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket?
They were both alive and well at boarding time and embarked under their own powers. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space.
And then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed.
If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. It's the last one.
It's the last one. And who was the first to find the victim?
Actually, there were two of them.
The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Army.
Army. One of them was a detective?
Detective Candace can disarm.
Can disarm. Disbomb.
She specializes in bombings.
She can disarm.
Funny!
Yep, Detective Arme specializes in bombings, you see?
I say that like I hate it, but really I love it. I love the
He
dumb
loves
Ace
this
Attorney
shit.
names.
She and the director were ordering the evacuations following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts. So they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant.
Two witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me.
I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. If this is true, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime.
What little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Excuse me. Justice Dono, foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from a security camera. As the two astronauts emerged from the bowels of the Launchpad 1 corridor, he said bowels. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What?
You don't know that. You can't see their faces. Order! Order, I say.
I don't know why,
it's
but
time for the Taco Bell order.
Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, I don't know why it bothers me, but it bothers me that Fulbright doesn't wear socks.
Oh, yeah.
Just like pants that don't cover the ankles, bare ass ankles, and then shoes with no socks.
Barer than ass ankles. This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting. It's like they've been the only ones who've been able to set the narrative so far.
Yeah. I should have known Black Quill would have had something like this ready.
Apollo?
Oh right, you're here too.
How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in this footage?
Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at that point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at that footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him?
Why? I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. Almost as beautiful as getting me a bowl of beef stew.
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright, explain it to Justice Dono.
You got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge, after all.
That is kind of odd to me that the corridor that directly leads into the launch pad is separated by one door. Now, granted, you need to have the fingerprints for it. But
Yeah.
it's just weird to me in that the very room outside of the launch pad is just anyone can hang out there.
Anyone can just chill and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think they do on the 6th floor? In the bubble room.
Also smoke weed. It's pretty much like 7 floors of smoking weed.
Damn.
Yeah. No wonder Fulbright was there.
I was gonna say, no wonder the Hat 1 almost crashed.
Yeah. Everyone was high. Anyone can enter the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in their spaceship? That's a horse of a different color.
Objection!
All horses are the same color. But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
Your assertion, your assertion, is based on emotion. It's based in your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive. Irk.
Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic.
So is theirs.
Also, you have not given me any beef stew today. So,
Your Honor, you have your own beef stew kitchen behind the judge's table.
yeah, but the defense gives me ingredients for the beef stew.
Here's your
That's why
Taco
I'm
Bell
gonna
order.
Thank you.
Do you think he just
Not
puts
guilty.
like Taco Bell bits and chunks into his beef stew?
Sometimes.
But it sounded perfectly logical to me.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close.
Objections? Well,
Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need.
What is it, Athena? Timmy fall down the well?
It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. I'm pretty sure you put my Taco Bell order on the judge's stand.
Shh, don't. Well, I'll get you more later.
Oh, okay.
If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. If it isn't the prosecution trying to rush things and get to a conclusion, as always.
Prematurely. Just like in bed, Blackwell.
Oh!
Call him out.
Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time.
Yes.
You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Time's up. After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your baldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown.
Oh.
Ready?
Ugh.
We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena.
Only 3 more seconds. Ah. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete.
Meaning?
Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained.
Something that they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Ah, you're right. I think I know what you're talking about.
Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you would like to rebut?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There is something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. Longest 5 seconds.
Second longest 5 seconds, actually.
After.
Any chunk of 5 seconds that happened during the 5 minutes on
I was
Planet
thinking
Namek.
the same thing.
Yeah.
5 minutes until Namek explodes. Longest
Go
5
on,
minutes
get.
of all time.
Well, if you put it that way... What is it that the prosecution has failed to explain?
Why the body was moved.
Why the body hit the floor?
They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why wouldn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge?
Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet.
That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong?
Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice.
The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Ack! Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Can't say Astro Boy.
Can't say Astro Boy.
Huh? They've got to be joking.
It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself.
But if he was already stabbed, then who else would have done it?
He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera, so there'd be a record.
At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man. Ah!
Flashback.
That
I don't get to say that very
this
often.
this happened maybe 10 minutes ago, and there wasn't even like a to be continued in between. Did we need this flashback?
Yes.
The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver screen.
Indeed. I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story.
You see? Yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Literally. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
The one in the courtroom? What are you talking about? There was no third explosion.
Silence.
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We use that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy.
What?
One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, The victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
Gah! Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. Ugh, it's like he's reading my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets.
A gun.
Specifically, this bottle of liquor. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch.
Oh, that is pretty
You
curious.
found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder. So he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble-brained that he is. No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that.
He faded into white. Jack, are you okay?
Justice Dono, open your eyes and see the truth. I'm okay, but I think Apollo is dead.
Damn. Well, that makes it easier for you for the rest of the stream series.
Yeah, true.
This appears to be irrefutable evidence. There's no evidence. This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. Well, I guess there was evidence, but, I mean...
It's not here.
Yeah.
No! There has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You'll believe in your client, come what may? Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? This has got to be a trap.
It's like Blackwell's controlling the entire game. Not
Fun.
you, Jack.
I mean, I am voicing Blackquill, so technically...
Is Blackwell the main character?
Yeah. It seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue.
Why do you say that?
Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down.
Then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself. Famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Solomon Starbuck. Astronaut. How did this happen?
Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. You need, like, Taco Bell or something? I can get you a Baja Blast. Will you be able to give your testimony?
No.
Well, unfortunately, no is not an option.
Then why did you ask?
buck up. You are being accused of the Space Center bumming and the murder of Clay Terran.
You unleashed an army of bums inside the Space Center.
2 platoons of bums, with a third on the way. Please testify to these allegations. Obviously, the judge was not paying attention.
Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy.
No.
Silence.
We can't do that. You don't have more than one character model. It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Wow. That was super negative. Is he going to be all right up there?
He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. Please don't do that.
Please. Actually, it would make this case go by really quick.
It would. That's not even just a reflection. It does just look like a priest collar.
Yeah.
That's just a weird design aspect to the spacesuit.
Priests in space.
All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
What was he tapping?
A tablet, I assume.
No, he was tapping this, like, just empty air.
Oh yeah, he was doing that.
See, Athena makes sense because she has tech or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see Solman having fucking anything. So you assert you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim? Likely story.
Haha. But I bet you think I'm lying, right?
I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony or you bribe me with food.
I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut.
Astro what?
I don't think the judge doubts that.
Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy.
I guess I'm just a big disappointment.
Have you ever thought of therapy?
I really don't care what happens anymore. Oh no! He's completely given up! What a depressing fellow. Why did that say question mark, question mark, question mark?
Why?
Was that not him?
It had to have been him.
What a depressing
assume.
fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing of yours would rub off on the other inmates.
Oh, maybe it was the entire audience.
Oh.
Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago?
Oh, so it was him.
Oh.
Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Apparently. Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find out the truth. Hey,
Apollo?
Athena.
No, God. Bombing report, second statement.
What is he tapping?
He's just tapping.
He's tapping. That's weird.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level.
What makes you say that, Mr. Justice?
Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level of the elevator was engulfed in flames.
Oh, you're right. Which means... what?
Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet? Ah! Mission Command! Mission Command! Do you read me? Come in, please!
Objection!
No, over.
This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention! Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck. My helmet. My oxygen tank.
Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining. Requesting medical assistance.
Oh shit, he died. Mr. Starbucks, we're not in space right now. They don't have enough beef stew up there.
Thank you, Al.
Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth.
I feel like we just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut.
Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement? About how you use the middle level elevator. Say that 5 times fast. I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think. A different route? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
Probably not.
I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean, probably. Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous. But let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court.
Another
Paramount
testimony.
Paramount was my calendar word this morning. I was issued to use that in a sentence today.
Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I, remember now. I took a different route. Maybe. Probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way. And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the next thing to Mr. Terran there? The thing next to me. Pardon my dyslexia.
Nice.
Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With his spacesuit on, Clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important.
So I threw them both down the ladder.
I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony.
Oh God, you made him depressed again.
Maybe I am guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I bet it's more comfortable than in a spaceship.
Damn. Hey, Apollo?
To be fair, I think I'd rather be trapped in prison than trapped in space. At least there's Earth on the other side of prison.
Starcock. Hey, Apollo, present the space center diagram on the third statement.
3-statement cross-examination.
We love it.
Crazy. Love to see it. Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue? No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. You dumb fuck! The truth, Mr. Starbuck!
Gah! The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks.
Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him.
The tooth.
The tooth. He has a tooth stuck.
In his throat.
Right
That's
down
why
his
he's
throat.
choking.
Yes.
Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was along the escape route. The corridor.
The ladder.
The ladder.
The ladder.
The ladder. To get down from the upper to the middle level where the Launchpad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course. That was the only way we could escape.
Objection!
But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
You weren't on the moon.
But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other, is impossible. Wouldn't you say? Oh. So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Ah. Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth. Now!
Engineer! Where's the engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance.
Evacuate immediately! What the? He's flying the coop! Help! I'm caught on the ceiling. Help? Anyone?
Bailiff! Prepare the cherry picker. I'm hungry.
Get
We
me
must
some
launch
cherries.
Give me some cherries while you're up there. We must launch our rescue mission at once. Once lunch comes around.
At lunch.
At lunch. Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned.
I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Oh god, they got him down.
Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can help keep your feet planted on the ground?
I will be right back.
You little whore. You little whore.
Okay, I'm back.
Hell yeah.
Where did Darkest Mustard go?
I don't know. Where did I go?
Good question. Yes, I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth?
Not that. Anything but that.
Where did Cloud go? Cloud doesn't exist.
Cloud doesn't exist. Cloud will pop in and say hi. Which is fine. I mean, it's fine that he does that, but he a lot of the time does not stick around for these streams. He's probably in bed.
He's probably dead.
What is going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Space Boy is prone to deception. Witness! Yikes! Yes? I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as space madness. The result of a medical side effect?
Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't talk about that.
What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Space Boy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Oh? I sense things are about to nosedive.
Yee.
You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication. I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be?
He was drugged.
Somebody must have slipped him to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Oh, we haven't done ages yet. For him.
Isn't it? I was going to say, isn't it just pretty much Starbuck?
Pretty much. And Clay, I guess. But Clay is probably just Apollo's age. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Okay, let's find out. Well, I guess we got Clay.
Which is what, 24?
24, I'm guessing.
22.
I'm probably we're not going to count him. 23, yeah. Apollo's age. All right. How old is Starbuck? Solomon Starbuck.
Starbuck is, let's see, at least 7 years old.
At least.
Yeah, because he went to space 7 years ago.
True.
So 36.
Al says 32. I will go right in the middle and say 34. 33.
Damn.
Al wins.
Good job, Al.
Good job, Al. Oh, well. Unfortunate.
Oh, well, no, we had her in the first case, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did. That's right. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What?
Order! Order in the court. Taco Bell orders are available for pickup.
We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything.
Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing.
Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember?
I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space.
Maybe I really did do it. Which brings us to the answer of our original question. Of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. Ladies and gentlemen. Wowzers. It does? So what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Stono. He threw him. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder.
Oh my! I see. And then the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Wouldn't there be like bruises on his back or something?
No.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Or disrespectable thing? Excuse me.
Disrespectable.
Who could do such a disrespectable thing?
I don't know.
Why would he say disrespectable and not disrespectful? It's weird. Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Ah! Huh? What's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body.
That's exactly what he's doing.
I am, for they fracture easily when struck. It seems like a design flaw, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. Yet, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence.
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made up of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer. But the oxygen tank, if that thing gets hit by a pebble, it is gone.
If it gets looked at, it's cracking.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well?
No.
It should, and yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to its target. Well, what are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suits work. Nah, he's got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Gah! Here, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx.
I love that band.
Ack!
Hey, I'm here too. This report is pretty detailed.
Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining.
Yeah.
I like how Athena said, hey, this is pretty detailed, and it's just a paragraph of information.
Very basic information.
I guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank. I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space.
Just remember, folks, Athena never went to public school, so a paragraph is very impressive to her.
Yeah. Space boy. Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars as seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not a half-bad thought. Mr. Starbuck? Prosecutor Blackwell got to him good. spaceship prison cell. Fly me, my guilt, and my despair to the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh, yes, Apollo? You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you were an incredible man.
That's because Clay was short.
He said you'd never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that? So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Terran. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. Rah! Rah! Gah! Yeah, I cured my depression.
He's back, baby.
Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. Mr. Starbuck, I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Just remember, folks, scream at the top of your lungs. It cures your depression.
It's true. Why do you think we say start screaming at the start of every stream?
Yeah.
Right.
Because this is the only time we're not allowed to be depressed.
It's true. Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space.
Throw him. Hurl him.
Rah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul. I'm on fire. I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself.
He's actually on fire.
There is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down.
Will someone put that fire out?
Balderdash. The sun, the moon, all of space is calling to me. Solomon Saul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4.
3. Ooh, well, 2.
1. I assume it's the crowd.
1.
1. Lift off. He's doing it.
He's gonna do it.
He's doing it.
There he goes. Well, I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! Well, you didn't solve the case or anything. And, yeah, but you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck.
You know, I feel like the mood matrix would have been really helpful for him.
Nah. Apollo can just scream.
I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
Also, like, we probably have to save that for, like, investigation, or not the investigation. You probably have to save that for, like, I don't know, Yuri Cosmos in Trial Day 2, Part 2.
Yeah,
Don't
that
worry
sounds
about
about
it.
right. If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable.
Jerking each other's egos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness? Gah! I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I've got to destroy Blackquill's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. If the only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. Can we also talk about the fact that there's obviously not a knife in that astronaut?
Don't worry about it.
So the only way to counter Blackquill's argument is... if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now, let's see. About this data that we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. But if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict. No! Prosecutor Blackquill, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terrence had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Stono. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean.
I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory.
Yes, Your Honor. Right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. It's the fucking security camera footage.
Security camera footage. And how does this evidence present a contradiction?
The problem is this part here. The big 50.
The big 50.
5-0.
5-0. Or the 05.
Hawaii 5-0. Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran.
It appears to say 5-0.
Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining.
The oxygen in the tank increased?
I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there is a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical.
Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence.
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection.
Heh. I'm going to bet you... Oh no, Hugh O'Connor.
Oh no. Rubbed off on him.
Heh. I'm going to bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Bitch. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence.
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysteriously increasing oxygen? You'd better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. Irk.
Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counterargument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased?
Of course I can.
Duh.
The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around.
Oh my god, do we really have to do this?
Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. So this man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But, if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown an 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking for is not, why did the oxygen level increase? But, what had to have happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here?
Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. You were kind of just staring there for a minute.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. The victim was carrying defendant.
Yeah.
What if it was the other way around?
The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. I feel like we really could have proved this hours ago just by looking at the photo of the security footage and realizing that it is fucking... There is no knife in him. Explain this. There's no knife. What was Black Quill thinking?
He didn't really care.
I mean, obviously. But like...
He has to be a prosecutor.
There's no knife at all.
It fell out.
It fell out.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all.
In fact, he's not a very good helper.
It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge.
It was what? Order! Order! Mr. Justice! You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran?
It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%.
That's right. There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing.
This means Excuse me. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection.
That was a violent objection. Like, vibrated for a bit.
Jesus.
Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? It's true that we don't know what they got. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. And opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Gah.
Dun.
There were two people who claimed to be on the first on the there were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But can we really trust their statements?
Let's see. The two people were Detective Candice Army and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police?
Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging.
It seems we have to hear testimony of these first two people on the scene.
Score!
Come to think of it, Detective Army should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand.
Oh shit, it's fucking Ted Tonate. What was his voice? Which one of us voiced him?
Pretty sure you voiced him.
Was he robot voice?
He was robot voice when he was typing.
Okay. That's
But
right.
he's not typing.
Well, he's-
it was a more normal voice when he wasn't typing.
I'll do my research later.
I have an announcement, everyone.
What is the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here.
But please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but
It's about to explode.
Ode?
A bomb? Now? Ah! Everybody run! Hell with the hype for the bomb.
I don't want to die. Oh no, everybody's panicking.
They all look perfectly still to me.
And we all stood still, T-posing.
Silence.
Headless chickens with a death wish, the lot of you. Calm yourselves afore all else.
Come on, Apollo. Let's get out of here. Let's scram.
But what about Mr. Starbuck's dream? And who will carry out Clay's final wish?
I don't give a shit.
I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here.
Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way.
Hey, ouch! Let me go! Apollo! Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet. Eek! Juniper! Are you alright?
Oh no, she's the bomber. Apollo, no, not that way.
No!
You think Apollo killed the bomber?
Probably.
Juniper Woods, the bomber.
That is a perfect spot to end the stream.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Beautiful.
I can't wait to take over voicing all of the defense next time.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Phoenix takes over.
Yeah. All right. So the bomb went off. Badass. And that is that's a good place to stop this one.
Yee.
Yee.
I have children. I have to go.
You can't hide from me, Al. I see you online.
He just wanted to show up.
All right. Thanks for joining, everyone. Al, Darkest Mustard, Cloud for a little bit. That was
Me?
it. Landon, thank you for joining.
Of course, anytime.
We'll be back next week with more of this. Cloud is starting Final Fantasy IV on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I will be finishing Backyard Baseball on Thursday.
I've been playing Iggy's Big Blue Wrecking Balls?
Sure.
Or something else.
Who knows? Anyway. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Didn't even mention Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Tree's Woe, and The Blight Below.
I'm
Damn.
sorry.
Damn.
Anyway, bye.